All right, let's dive headfirst into one of the strangest puzzles the ocean has ever thrown at us. We're about to unravel a mystery that had scientists completely stumped for half a century. A sound so weird, so out of place, it seemed to break all the rules. Okay, so picture this. You're in a submarine, deep, deep down in the freezing waters of the Antarctic. Everything is dark, silent, and then you hear it, the unmistakable quack of a duck. Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense, right? And yet, that's exactly the riddle that submarine crews and scientists were dealing with. It was a sound that simply should not have been there, and it kicked off a hunt for an answer that would last for decades. And listen, this wasn't some one-off, fleeting noise. The mystery got its start way back in the 1960s, and for more than 50 years, this strange quacking sound just kept echoing through the Southern Ocean. It was so persistent, it even earned a nickname. They called it the bioduck. Pretty perfect, huh? The bio part suggested it came from something alive, but that duck part, that was the real head-scratcher. The sound was this repeating series of low-frequency pulses, and it was loud. I mean, it carried for miles. But what in the world could be making it? Well, with no obvious culprit, people's imaginations just ran wild. Remember, this started in the Cold War. So, of course, some folks immediately thought it had to be a new type of secret sonar or some kind of stealthy submarine. Others went in a totally different direction, suggesting maybe a new species of giant squid that could make noise, or maybe weird seismic burps from the ocean floor. And, the idea of some undiscovered sea monster was definitely on the table.
So you really had these two hunts going on at the same time. On one hand, you had all this wild speculation, monsters and secret government tech. And on the other, you had scientists just grinding away, meticulously combing through years and years of acoustic data, trying to find a match, any pattern that could link the bioduck to something they already knew about. But for decades, nothing. So after 50 years of theories about submarines, sea monsters, and hitting scientific dead ends, what was it? What was finally discovered to be the true source of that mysterious bioduck sound? Get this, it was a whale. The Antarctic minke whale, to be specific. Turns out, one of the most elusive and least understood whales on the planet was the source of that bizarre quacking. The tiny-sounding duck was actually a massive 30-foot-long marine mammal. No one saw that coming. And so, the bioduck finally got its proper definition. It wasn't a malfunction, it wasn't a monster, it was a conversation. A complex, rhythmic call that we now know is a super important part of how these amazing animals talk to each other in the vast, dark ocean they call home. So, how'd they finally crack the case? Well, it took getting right up close and personal with some pretty advanced tech. Back in 2014, a research team actually managed to stick acoustic tags onto two minke whales. Think of them as tiny recording studios stuck to the whales' backs. And when they got the data from those tags, they had it. The smoking gun. The tags recorded the whales at point-blank range, making that unmistakable quack, giving us the first direct, undeniable proof. And just like that, the mystery was solved. But what's so cool is that solving it opened up this whole new chapter. Realizing this sound was a whale call meant that every single recording of it from the past 50 years was actually a record of where minke whales were and what they were doing. It was like discovering a massive historical diary they didn't even know they had. So why is this so important? Well, first, it gave us an incredible new way to study these super shy minke whales, letting us track them and understand their lives better. And yeah, it solved one of the ocean's great cold cases, but I think, more than anything, it's this powerful reminder of how much we are still figuring out about our own planet. The answer was literally hiding in plain sight, or I guess plain sound, for half a century. Which kind of leaves you with this one last thought. If a sound as common as a duck could be so completely misidentified for so long, and its source turned out to be one of the ocean's giant creatures, what other unbelievable secrets and bizarre sounds are still down there in the deep, just waiting for us to hear them?